We're working on a program that can download an article given its URL from the Washington Post and then summarize it in 3 sentences. We've already set up the frequency summarizer class that we'll need, which carries around all the behavior which is needed to summarize a raw text article. Now we need to write the code that will download the article from the internet and extract the text that we are interested in. So Python has a library called urllib, which you can use in a pretty straightforward way to download a page from the internet. But this page is an HTML page. This is a page of an article in the Washington Post. Notice all the links and extra information that is there on this page that we don't really need. We just want the article. So all these links and text will also be downloaded in the HTML page that we get. In fact, when you open up this HTML page in a text editor or try to read it using Python, you will see all of this crud. You can hardly figure out where the article is that we are interested in. All this other extra text is there. So how do we get the text that we care about and extract it from all the crud on this HTML page? Beautiful Soup to the rescue. Beautiful Soup is this amazing, super cool Python library that you can use to prettify and extract text from an HTML page. It will automatically understand all the tags that are present and what is there between the tags, and you can easily extract the text for the tags that you are actually interested in. You can create lists of the links that are present on the web page. You can get the paragraphs which are of interest to you, and so on. Beautiful Soup is just magical at scraping websites. And this is what we'll use to extract the article text from the HTML page of a Washington Post article. Now, you will have to tell Beautiful Soup where to look to get the text that you're interested in. Now, Washington Post article pages might be different from the New York Post article pages. These might be different from the Washington Pages homepage, Washington Post's homepage. So you should basically understand what's the structure of the page and kind of know where to get the text that you're interested in. Our article text is enclosed within this article tag, and each paragraph is enclosed within a p tag. So an article, the entire article is enclosed within the article tag, and it consists of paragraphs which are enclosed within the p tag. This is basically how the Washington Post's article is structured. So let's set up a function now. It will take in the URL of an article that you're interested in summarizing, and it will return the text or the raw text of that article from the HTML page that's downloaded. So let's call this function getOnlyText of Washington Post URL. And this function is specific to extracting the text from an article page of the Washington Post. If you want to set up a similar function for any other page or any other newspaper, you should take a look at the structure of the page as we just did with the Washington Post article and figure out what are the tags and how the article text is structured. So first we'll download the page from the Washington Post website. So we have the URL of the article, and urllib2 is a pretty standard Python library which you can use to download the web page. Now, page is a long string which contains all the HTML of that page. And if you try to print the page string, it would look a lot like what we just saw earlier with all the crud inside the HTML page. Soup is a beautiful soup object that we are setting up. We'll instantiate a beautiful soup object with the page we downloaded. Now soup has a member function called findAll, which will find all the text which is enclosed within the tag that you specify in findAll. So if you say soup.findAll article, it's going to find all the text which is enclosed within the article tags. Soup.findAll will return an object p, and p.text will be the text which is enclosed inside those tags. What we are doing here is using a lambda function to join all the text inside all the article tags on that page. So let's say there was some text enclosed within an article tag and some links, and then again some text inside an article tag. So this will fetch all those texts and mush them together into one single string. That's what this particular line of code does. So after this, we would have removed all the crud which is outside the article tags and only have the white colored text here as our string text. But it still has the p tags. So those are the tags that we'll remove in the next step. So we'll create another soup object, soup2, which will take in the text from the previous step and create a soup object. And we'll basically repeat the same step that we did above, but instead of now finding all the text between the article tags, we'll find all the text between the p tags and mush it all together. So at the end of this, we've removed all the divs, tags, CRUD, which is present in the HTML page, and we'll just get the raw text, which we are interested in. We'll return that raw text and the title of the article as the output of our get Washington Post text only function. So given a HTML page which has a structure like this, a title and an article tag with some text which is separated into paragraphs, this function will take in that HTML page and return the title and the text of the article as a pair. We're done with all our setup. Now let's try it out. Let's set up or initialize a variable called sumURL with the URL of the article that we want to summarize. So we'll go and get the URL from the Washington Post of the article that we are interested in and store it in this variable sumURL. We'll call the get Washington Post text only function and pass in sumURL. We'll get text of URL as the text of the article. Now let's instantiate an object of the frequency summarizer class. So fs is an object of the frequency summarizer class. We are instantiating by calling the constructor of the frequency summarizer class. When you call this constructor, automatically the underscore underscore init underscore underscore function, which we had set up as the constructor, will be called. Now, to get the summary of our article, we'll call the member function summarize of the frequency summarizer class. Now, since fs is an object of the frequency summarizer class, it will also have a member function summarize. The summarize function takes in two arguments, the raw text input, which is the second element of the text of URL list. Remember that the Washington Post parsing function basically returns both the title and the text. So the second element is the text that we care about. Then 3 is the number of sentences that we want to use to summarize our article. So this is the article that we're summarizing. and this is the summary that comes up. As you can see, the summary is a pretty good representation of the article that we try to summarize.